welcome back to this week's Writing Sync. I'm filming this a little bit later than I normally do, and so, I'm a little bit out of it, and I'm a little bit, I have some premonitions of what next week is going to be, and so I have a couple of things I want to talk about today. Number one is that I've realized that I've come to a point in the story where I need to revise my outline. I've just finished chapter 13. I'm kind of in the middle of my act 2 right now, and even though I have a lot of chapters in that, I don't know, it needs a couple of more, and I need to plan out that arc, because I've kind of had it in my head so far, but I haven't added it to my outline, so that's something I need to do. This next week or two, I'm going to give myself some grace when it comes to writing, because like this week, last week we had a really great week, but this week was way slower, and it was like, I wrote fairly consistently, but it was like 100 pages, or not 100 pages, if only 100 pages. It was just 100 words, here and there, a couple hundred words. It just wasn't a lot. And I've noticed that trend even into this week. And so I'm just going to kind of take a step back. I might do some writing, but I want to take some time to really get this outline figured out. And so I'm not going to stress too much about the word counts the next couple weeks. This week, next week at least. If not into the next week. But still a decent amount. So we were at 26,148 words. We're now at 27,254 words. That's about 1,100 words. Again, less than I had been averaging, but still not bad considering that I was really struggling to write. Another thing that I've talked about someone here, but I've really struggled with comparison recently because, social media is a blessing and a curse. And sometimes you look on it and you see, oh, this person wrote, every day this week what I write in a week, every day. One day is a week's worth of my writing. And I also have to tell myself that, I have other interests. I also, I'm married. I have a career. My job takes a lot out of me mentally. I'm in the technology field. I'm a software engineer. And so that takes a lot of my brain power. And to come home after, 8-9 hour days, and then after programming that long, and then going to, do something creative, which again is a different part of my brain, but also really isn't. Because a lot of the problem solving pieces are still there. So some days I just need a break, and some days I just need to relax. And so I'm going to try to do that more once I get this outline figured out. And I'm going to try, I don't know if forcing myself to write every day is going to be helpful for me. I need a couple of slack days in a week, because I still want it to be fun, but I want to stay consistent with it. But I also don't want it to become completely jobby, if that makes sense. I don't want it to just be a routine that I get in the motions about. Because I'm still passionate about the story. I'm passionate about doing this, being able to write a novel, and so I want to stay consistent. Again, I know I'm a solo writer, but it's also my first ever novel that I've gotten past 10,000 words. So I'm really pushing at it, and I'm doing pretty well so far. And I am proud of myself. I know it's not going to be a super long book, and I'm okay with that. I kind of like that it's shorter. But I'm trying not to play the comparison game too much, because I've been struggling with that. But yeah, this week, next week, and maybe the next week, the word counts are not going to be a lot. But I'll probably talk more about the process I've been doing with my draft, or with my outline, and how I've expanded that. Some pieces I've added. Again, I have some ideas. I just haven't put them down yet. I just want to make sure that arc is good, because I feel like if I write it like it is, it's too jumpy, And so I'm trying not to go back too much and revise, but going forward, I want to make sure at least most of the stories, ups and downs are there, and then I can just refine them. So yeah, that was a lot this week. Usually these are only a couple minutes long. I don't know how long this one's gonna be, but I just wanted to kind of, be transparent about it and backing up a little bit, and that's okay. You do what you need to do for the story. My goal is to write this first draft by the end of this year, and I think that's doable. Again, right now I record a lot of these early, and so right now it's May 2nd. And so I'm, through 4 months of the year, and I have 27,000 words. So I'm feeling pretty good about the potential of that. But anyway, hopefully that didn't break the fourth wall for you too much, with the fact that I record these ahead of time. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys for listening to my ramblings. If you have any suggestions in the comments, I'd love to hear. If you need any encouragement, drop that in the comments too. We'd love to, encourage you, and I want to try to foster a community that does that. So, okay, I think that's all I have this week, after all of that. So thank you guys so much for your support, for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.